It's 6 o'clock.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello and thanks for staying tuned. But do remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, Governor Wike invites President-elect Bulletin to Port Harcourt. Rivers State government to demolish AIT building in Port Harcourt. Alex Oti wins Abia State governorship election. Road marks Water Day. NLC to protest at CBN offices next week. On the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron refuses to give way as pension protests escalate. I'm Adedayo Ilushakin. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says he has invited the President-elect Bola Tinubu to commission projects in Port Harcourt. Governor Wike said this during a media chat in Port Harcourt today and said the PDP won elections in the state because Rivers people trusted the government to carry out dividends of democracy in the state.
Every day as we are campaigning and commissioning projects and flagging up projects, and you think that the people are not seeing. Yesterday, I was inspection. I started to fly over. I'm inviting the president-elect to come and commission. I have a right. After all, I invited Soya. I invited OB as a commission project. Those I invited, what did I get for it? So if I'm inviting now and I'm going to get something for my people, so what's wrong with that? But the point I'm making, look at the government now. By Monday next, we will start commissioning another round of projects. Who does it? And you're telling us that we'll lose the election here.
Governor Wike said before the governorship elections, security agencies intercepted fake INEC security cards which were to be given to a governorship candidate.
So when I got it, I raised alarm. The security agencies, they summoned the rest. Luckily for us again, the military arrested 4 people with those cards. If we went violent, we would have allowed them, since we are aware. And these are the same people who come on television, people who read the election. But you have taken steps to manipulate the process by using your own brother, who is in INEC headquarters. Even though he denied, but we know. These are things politicians do. When they fail, they come back. They say they were rich. It's not anybody who cries at first that is innocent.
And Governor Wike also said that there was no violence in Asari Toro local government areas alleged by agents of opposition political candidates at the governorship and State House of Assembly elections.
The news, 8 o'clock news, was saying that violence in Asari Toro local government. There was no violence in Asari Toro. The election was held on Sunday. The level of security I saw, I've never seen any election in local government. You know what they were reporting? A young man was carrying his phone. I was saying, look, see what happened. How can you carry a young man's phone and then carry it on news that violence?
Now, the SDP governorship candidate in Rivers State, Senator Magnus Abe, says the intimidation, harassment and violence in parts of the state during Saturday's 18th governorship election was aimed at disenfranchising the electorate. Senator Abe said this during a press briefing where he responded to the broadcast by Governor Wike that the SDP was not ready for the election.
Is that how was I to prepare for that kind of election? I should hire my own thugs and buy my own guns and get my own police or get my own army. How am I to prepare? What a serious candidate should do for an election is what I did. I got on the ballot, I campaigned, I spoke to people, I convinced them that if they work with me and we vote together, they could have a better life. You know, the only way to test that is to have allowed everybody to freely come out and press their hand on the kind of future that they want for Rivers State. It's not for people to come out and start saying that they had decided who will come first and who will come second. I've already been told that I will come third.
The Rivers SDP governorship candidate claimed that instructions were given to the police to arrest some party agents and members of the SDP, while traditional rulers were compelled to declare support for a particular candidate.
Same governor that was harassing traditional rulers for receiving candidates of other parties on courtesy call was the one who directed the entire traditional rulers council of the state to adopt one candidate, and everybody must go home and implement that adoption. All the chiefs had to go home and get their people to beat gong and all that and seize materials and all that. People were carrying tons of cash around, bags and trailer loads of wrappers were freely being shared. Nobody was arrested. The only person who was arrested arrested for vote buying in Rivers State was a member of the SDP who had not 1 naira even on him as a person, but he was arrested.
Senator Abiy also said he did not issue any congratulatory message to the PDP governor-elect Sim Fubara and described the report on social media as fake news. And the former Chief of Staff, Rivers State Government House, Tony Okocha, says he is hopeful that Governor-elect Siminalayi Fubara will consolidate and improve on the achievement of Governor Nyesom Wike in the state. Tony Okocha said this during an event to celebrate the victory of Governor-elect Siminalayi Fubara in the March 18 governorship elections at the Captain Leche Madi Polytechnic in Port Harcourt. Tony Okocha also expressed confidence that the incoming governor will implement youth-friendly policies in his administration. And as part, Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN in Rivers State, Chijoke Ihunwo, thanked Rivers youth for ensuring they took over governance in the state. And the candidate of the Labour Party in Abia State, Alex Oti, has been declared the winner of the governorship poll in Abia. Oti was declared the winner of the election today by INEC after the resumption of collation of results. He polled a total of 175,467 votes to defeat his closest rival, Oke Ahiwe of the ruling PDP, who scored 88,529 votes. Meanwhile, the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is asking the Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja to declare him the winner of the February 25 poll or order a rerun between him and the President-elect Bola Tinubu. These were contained in the petition filed for him and the main opposition PDP. The petition said Tinubu was not duly elected by a majority of lawful votes cast at the election, and at the time of the election, he was not qualified to contest the election. And an election observer, Obinna Nwaka, has urged INEC to focus more on training of collation and returning officers. Dr. Nwaka said this while reviewing the activities of INEC during the just concluded elections. He told correspondent Shoibi Ruwari that training will prevent poor performance of collation officers in future elections.
That I would like to advise the INEC to ensure that they will give orientation to their returning officers and collation, especially their collation officers. Most of the collation officers, they were not properly guided, they were not trained. Some of them came to the collation center without understanding the way and manner how they should present their results before the stakeholders.
On his part, an advocate of good governance, Livingston Witches, says the inadequacies of INEC should be criminalised in order to end electoral malpractices.
Nationally, INEC made too many inexcusable shortcomings. It is important that we begin to review the independence of INEC that has given it the latitude to do and undo without any form of limits. At this point, it is my recommendation that the statutory monitoring body be set up to monitor and audit as well as edit the activities of INEC. There should be criminalization of INEC's irregularities, so that serves as a deterrent.
Livingston Weche also urged the governor-elect in Rivers State, Sim Fubara, to revitalize the moribund industries in the state.
The governor should begin to look at revamping the moribund industries in the state and focus mainly on revitalizing the industrial sector, because economic empowerment is key. Rivers State needs the most now to translate into a private sector driven economy. There is always window for redress for those who are aggrieved, both at the governorship and at the presidential level, and they should explore same.
And in other news, the Rivers State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, is appealing to the state government to drop its plan to demolish the transmission station of Dow Communications PLC, owners of AIT and Ray Power radio station in Port Harcourt. Chairman of NUJ, Stanley Job, made the appeal following a 48-hour quick notice served on the broadcast stations yesterday by the Ministry of Works. He urged the state government to open a negotiation channel with the media organisation for peaceful resolution. As you may know, the land on which AIT and Ray Power radio station built its transmission station has been a subject of dispute between the Rivers State government and Dow Communications PLC. Still ahead on the news, NLC to protest at CBN offices next week. Do please stay tuned. The Rivers State government says the Port Harcourt Urban Water Supply Project will soon begin distribution of potable water to Port Harcourt and Obiakpo local government areas. Managing Director of Port Harcourt Water Corporation, Ibibia Walter, represented by Bonda Chamberlain, said this event miles have been rehabilitated while more boreholes have been drilled. And correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that the Commissioner for Water Resources and Rural Development, Kani Ibeku, said it is regrettable that Nigeria has not made significant progress in actualizing MPG Goal No. 6, which deals with water and sanitation. Meanwhile, National President, Water Producers Association of Nigeria, WAPN, Igberi Maxine, spoke on the challenges of trying to access clean water. And the theme for this year is accelerating the change to solve the water and sanitation crisis. And moving on, members of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors Rivers State chapter yesterday held a fitness walk as part of activities to mark this year's Global Surveyors Day. As you may know, Global Surveyors Day is celebrated globally March 21 every year to recognize the groundbreakers, pioneers, individuals and the industry that has shaped our history and continues to be the foundation of our communities. Now, speaking shortly after the fitness walk, State Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, Rivers State Branch, Beredi Legbara, stressed the need to engage the services of a surveyor on all activities that concern land.
You've seen them here today. They have come to identify with these global surveyors to make surveying a bigger and to show awareness to the environment, particularly around Port Harcourt area, that we have a group known as surveyors. For everything on land, they should consult a surveyor. Everybody, you want to manage your land, you want to ensure that your land is comfortable, is well planned, you need service of a surveyor. So what I encourage our members to always do is to practice ethically, because there are many people out there who call themselves surveyors. They are not trained to carry survey information or acquire survey information and data, and people use them as surveyors. We have always been encouraging our members to practice ethically, so that by so doing there will be a distinction between who a surveyor is and who we call a quack.
Legbar also decried the continuous engagement of quacks in land surveying. Earlier, the Surveyor General of Rivers State, Noel Elewan, urged surveyors to collaborate with relevant government agencies for the development of the country.
My advocacy is that they must understand who they are and try to make themselves available for collaboration with those agencies of government, with the various arms of the Nigerian Armed Forces, security agencies, and also plow their tools to work for the purpose of even development of the society where we live, so that the society and the environment will be the best place for each and every one of us to live in.
And the federal government says it will site a grain hub in Port Harcourt. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar, said this during today's Federal Executive Council meeting. He said Port Harcourt was selected as the hub for the 25,000 metric tons of wheat expected from Ukraine, as Russia also extended supply of grains to the country through a United Nations agreement.
And now, the business news.
The leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress has directed all workers to protest at all the offices of the Central Bank of Nigeria nationwide, starting next week over the current cash crunch in the country. NLC President Joe Ajaero said this at a press briefing in Abuja and said the directive follows the expiration of a one-week ultimatum given to the CBN to make cash available for Nigerians.
Take it away with the entertainment news.
The film John Wick 4 will finally be released in UK cinemas tomorrow, almost 2 years later than was originally planned.
And now, updates on the sports news.
World Cup winner Mesut Ozil has announced his retirement from football today after an illustrious international career with Germany, Real Madrid and Arsenal Football Club.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
French President Emmanuel Macron has defended his decision to force through a rise in the pension age in the face of protests across France and 2 no-confidence votes. Speaking during an interview, a broadcast today, President Macron said that reform is not a luxury or pleasure, but a necessity. A ninth round of strikes in national protest following the reform will take place tomorrow. And that's it. On the news this evening, you heard Governor Wike has invited President-elect Bola Tinubu to Port Harcourt. River State government to demolish AIT building in Port Harcourt. Labour Party candidate Alex Oti has won the Abia State governorship election. Road marks Water Day. NLC has directed its members to protest at CBN offices next week. On the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has refused to give way as pension protests escalate. And that was the news, as edited by Martha Okiri. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this evening. And once again, remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Ilushankin. Good evening.